Bernardi Auto, they've got Audis, Hondas, and Toyotas. Yeah, they are the ones who sponsor who Mazz thinks is a fraud and who's for real.
Here we go.
Mazz's tears.
Yeah, those are the tears of a clown.
Mazz's tears.
The second tier. Hold on, let me get my pen.
Mazz's tears.
Dallas. Buffalo. Tennessee.
Mazz's tears.
Third tier. Okay, here we go. Hold on, let me get my pen.
Mazz's tears. 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 Tears.
All right, Mazz's tears. When it comes to Mazz's tears, and when it comes to auto dealers, the Bernardi Automotive Group always finishes top tier, number one, top of the top tier with Mazz. That's because they sell and service Acura, Audi, Honda, Nissan, Toyota, and Volvo. Bernardi for now, Bernardi for life. Visit them now at BernardiAutogroup.com. Mazz, take it away.
Okay, this is, again, this week's tiers are opponents who have crapped their pants against Boston teams.
Crappy tears. And we're talking about individuals as much as teams or more than teams.
Correct. So in some cases, it can be a team thing. We tried to pick individuals who were for the face of that pants crapping.
Yep.
But you get the idea, because there are certain circumstances where it was a complete pants crapping, collectively among a group. I will add that the one thing we ran, these were a little tricky to do in some cases, because the one thing we ran into, I try to survey many people, get their input in this sort of thing, and the common problem people make, the most common problem people made, was confusing with dominance over a team with pants crapping.
Correct.
So, for example, Tom Brady owned the Buffalo Bills. That doesn't mean they crapped their pants against you.
They did a couple times.
Even right, but it wasn't. It was more of a you were just superior. You own them.
It was sustained crapping. You're talking about guys that were great, and these were.
There's a difference between sucking and crapping.
Correct. So let me...
I emailed Ben Roethlisberger because in those big games, and especially in the playoffs, he mostly sucked, but he always sucked when the Patriots played the Steelers pretty much. So.
Right, and some of these get a little gray, but let me give you an example of what I would call a pants crapping, and it's on the list, but just to give you an idea. The Baltimore Ravens had a playoff game here that they had won. It was theirs. Billy Cundiff missed a 32-yard kick to win the game because he crapped his pants. Thus, Billy Cundiff is in Tier 2. We will get to Billy Cundiff when we get to Tier 2.
Okay, roll it.
Tier 3, let's begin. Now, again, some of these were tough. Kobe Bryant. Why would we put Kobe Bryant on the list?
Game 608.
The Lakers quit. Kobe Bryant, and let's not forget, they also blew a big lead out in L.A. where Kobe said it was at the end of Game 3. Game 3 or Game 4? It's Game 4. Kobe Bryant said, we wet the bed, we left it was a big one too, the kind you have to use a towel to clean up with. Okay? So Kobe Bryant kind of quit. I was reluctant to put him on the list, but I needed 20 names. He was my 20th. Donovan McNabb absolutely crapped his pants in the Super Bowl, was out there throwing up in the huddle. Sean McVay against the Patriots in the Super Bowl. He got thrown for a loop by a zone defense. I'm sorry. He got up against Bill Belichick and did not know what to do. He ended up winning a Super Bowl later on, but I thought he crapped his pants. Mike Martz in the Super Bowl did not give Marshall Faulk the ball enough. Succumbed to the greatest show on turf. Bad game plan. Joaquin Benoit gave up the grand slam to David Ortiz in Game 2 of the 2013 American League Championship Series. Detroit dominated that series. Go back and look at the overall numbers. Benoit crapped his pants. Donnie Moore, 1986, against the Red Sox as the closer of the Angels, gave up the home run to Dave Henderson. This was a tragic story on many levels. We brought up Donnie Moore's name before. He never really recovered from it, but he could not handle the pressure of that. And Fausto Carmona, and you'll say, who the hell is Fausto Carmona? He pitched Game 6 at Fenway Park against the Cleveland Indians in the American League Championship.
For the Indians.
For the Cleveland Indians. And gave up the grand slam to J.D. Drew in the first inning, I think it was. Absolutely crapped his pants on the mound at Fenway Park. So now, Tier 3, again, some of those you say, well, those were guys like They weren't horrendous pants crappings because they weren't by high-profile players or what have you, but they were nonetheless guys that choked in the moment and under the pressure. Tier 2. And now we get into sort of repeated pants crappings or historically significant pants crappings. Peyton Manning also beat you, which is why he's not in Tier 1.
But pre-06, there was a lot of pants crapping.
But here in Foxborough especially,
Yeah, there was some doo-doo.
oh, he crapped his pants a lot coming in here. He walked in and Foxborough was instant diarrhea. Isaiah Thomas, the steal by Larry Bird was a horrendous choke by Isaiah Thomas. Go back and watch the play. The Pistons never called timeout. Isaiah he rushed, tried to get the ball into the game quickly. He didn't know what to do. Okay? He recovered, but it was a huge mistake by Isaiah Thomas. James Worthy and Magic Johnson in the 84 playoffs. Worthy made the pass that Gerald Henderson intercepted. Go back and watch it. Easy steal. Really, really bad play. Again, a guy who didn't know what to do in the moment and made a horrendous play. And Magic Johnson dribbled out the clock in Game 2 of that series early in his career. Again, a team that wasn't really ready to win, at least against a team like the Celtics. LaDainian Tomlinson in here with the Chargers quit. Sat on the sideline, would not play in that game. That was a pants crapping of epic proportion. Billy Cundiff, who we mentioned, missed the field goal for the Ravens. And an underrated one.
This one's good.
Good, I like this one.
John Casey, the kicker for the Carolina Panthers, after they had tied the Super Bowl, kickoff out of bounds, gave the Patriots the ball at the 40-yard line. They then set up Vinatieri for a game-winning field goal. It was a horrible mistake. Really, really bad mistake on a kickoff, no less, by John Casey. But Tier 1 is reserved
For the steamiest of the crap.
Big load.
biggest chokers of the chokers, the ones that we can't really even dispute. And again, some of them were over multiple games. Some of them were one game. Some of them didn't even cost the team a series, but were just impossible to forget because they were so bad. So let's go to Tier 1.
Tier 1 pants crapping.
Okay, the Toronto Maple Leafs, we're going to put them all in together. That was like a virus in the locker room that caused all of them to sort of crap their
It's
pants.
just funny to read the graphic, all of the Maple Leafs.
So my initial name on the list was James Reimer, who just completely collapsed, Murray's favorite goaltender, who completely crapped his pants in 2013. But then Murray said, what about Tavares? What about Morgan Riley? What about Austin Matthews? Go right down the list. So we just decided to take the Maple Leafs en masse and put them at the top of the list. Roberto Luongo for Vancouver in the 2011 Cup Final. Mike, I'm curious as to your opinion on this. I can't remember a goalie coming in here in a big playoff series and crapping his pants the way that Luongo did at the Garden.
Remember him whining about, he's going to pump my tires too? Oh, boy.
And then he came in here and then they gave up 7 and he got yanked in the second period.
Didn't he get yanked more than once
I think
coming
he got
in
yanked
here?
twice here, I think.
Okay,
I can look it up.
They played 3 games in Boston. I think he got yanked in 2 of them. And go back and look at the scores of the games in that series.
6, 7.
When they came in here, Luongo might as well have been
in a puddle.
He might as well have been one of those cutout goalies that you put in there and they just leave the holes open in the net, like the shooter tutor. He was horrendous.
Stand by. I have it here.
Okay.
The losses to Boston were he gave up 8, 4, and only 3, but he got pulled.
Okay, so again, he got yanked.
Yep.
It was bad. It was really, really bad.
The one he gave up 3, this was Game 6. He gave up 3 goals on 8 shots, and they took him out.
Yeah, that's right.
The game before, he gave up 4 goals on 16 shots. 4 goals on 20 shots. And in Game 1, he lost. He gave up 8 goals. How about that?
He was garbage. As soon as he came in here, he was quivering. Roger Clemens in the famous game against Pedro Martinez in the 99 playoffs absolutely freaking soiled himself on the mound at Fenway Park. Got tattooed. I don't think he made it out of the first inning. Might have been the second. Whatever it was a beating like you've never seen.
Crapped his pants.
He really did. Kyrie Irving. And then the last few on the list. Pete Carroll had the Patriots beat in the Super Bowl. Lost command of the game.
Throw it, Biv. Throw it.
The Atlanta Falcons, and I had a hard time distinguishing on the face of this particular pants crapping, but Kyle Shanahan, Dan Quinn, Matt Ryan, all involved, complete meltdown.
Dan Quinn.
Had the game won.
Dan Quinn.
And they lost all control of bodily function and could not close out that game.
You're the head coach.
And Alex Rodriguez, whom I put down as the face of the 2004 Yankees, who blew a 3-0 lead to the Red Sox. In the final 4 games of that series, Alex Rodriguez went 2 for 17 and swiped at Bronson Arroyo, who tried to tag him up the first baseline. Again, he wasn't alone, but he became the poster boy for that particular pants crapping. I'm sure there are other names that we missed, so feel free to suggest to us, over the balance of the show.
Felger at 985 The Sports Hub.
Who you want to put on the all-time diarrhea list.
You can email me, you can call us.
If you like that clip, check out more videos from Felger and Mazz here. For more Celtics analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. And for all the latest from the Sports Hub, download the app at 985thesportshub.com.